Reputation around the world, threaten America's national security, and leave a staunch ally feeling like it was hung out to dry. The vast plains of northern Syria are home to the Kurds. They are a distinct ethnic group with their own language and culture, but no country of their own. And they were close American allies.
So we're going to the edge of the front line.
For 5 years, the Kurds here in northern Syria fought with the full backing of the American military against their common enemy, the terrorists of ISIS.
There's no question that they were our vital partner in defeating ISIS.
Brett McGurk ran counter-ISIS strategy under Presidents Obama and Trump.
They never stopped fighting ISIS, and they did so at great cost.
11,000 Kurdish men and women were killed. 24,000 were injured.
It was very clear for them at the very beginning that this would mean a fight for life or death.
Dilar Darik is a Kurd who has researched the long persecution of her people.
It was a historical battle for survival, for not being wiped out from history.
But in the end, the Kurds believed it was worth it. They won. ISIS was defeated. And the Kurds started to realize the dream they've had for over a century. They began to establish a permanent homeland in northern Syria, a place 2 million Kurds here could call their own. They even had a name for it, Rojava, meaning the land where the sun sets.
The Kurdish people are often referred to as the largest nation without a state. They believe that this is their historic homeland, and it is their historic homeland.
But not everyone welcomed the birth of Rojava. Turkey to the north saw a new, open, democratic, and proudly Kurdish society blossoming on its border as a direct threat. But to do something about it, to destroy Rojava, Turkey needed help.
103.5 FM.
And it all started with a phone call.
This is Washington's top news.
This Sunday, a democracy in crisis.
Representing the whistleblower who touched off the impeachment inquiry into President Trump.
It was the end of a chaotic week in Washington. President Donald J. Trump was facing an impeachment inquiry into abuse of power. That day, President Trump spoke with Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The call was expected to be routine.
Welcome to the United Nations, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan.
But Erdogan had a very specific goal in mind. He'd just briefed the United Nations about his plan to invade northern Syria. He wanted to clear out Kurdish fighters from a strip of Syrian territory along the Turkish border. He said the Kurdish fighters there were just terrorists. The land Turkey wanted to take over and resettle with a new population was Rojava. Many considered Erdogan's plan a blueprint to ethnically cleanse the Kurds. On their fateful phone call, President Trump opened the door for Erdogan to invade and ordered U.S. troops to get out of the way. An apparently off-the-cuff decision that set off shockwaves.
President Trump clearly gave a green light to this intervention, and maybe he didn't fully understand what this meant, who would be crossing the border. Who are these people? Maybe he didn't ask his experts. It's pretty clear to me he was not prepared for that phone call. It just demonstrated no knowledge from the commander-in-chief from the Oval Office level of the situation on the ground.
But Erdogan knew the situation on the ground, and he didn't waste any time. The day after the call, Turkey deployed troops and armor to its southern border. And on President Trump's orders, U.S. troops pulled back.
I believe that was the only thing that was preventing them from coming across the border.
General Joseph Votel led U.S. Central Command, responsible for all American military operations in the Middle East.
The departure of U.S. troops from along the border certainly made the Turkish incursion inevitable. And when they departed, then the Turks acted as we would have expected they would.
President Trump seemed to think he had it all under control. He tweeted that Turkey wouldn't go too far, that he'd keep Turkey in check with his great and unmatched wisdom. Turkey began its invasion of northern Syria 3 days after the phone call with President Trump. Turkey pounded Kurdish villages with fighter jets and sent in its army, the second biggest in NATO. Turkey showed little restraint in what it was calling Operation Peace Spring, apparently undeterred by President Trump's unmatched wisdom. As the death toll climbed, criticism erupted across Washington and across party lines, with accusations that President Trump had done something profoundly un-American, abandoning a brother in arms.
If we leave the Kurds behind, in their mind, in the eyes of the world, good luck having anybody help us in the future to fight ISIS.
To just abandon them like that so the Turks can come in and slaughter them is not just immoral. I mean, it taints our reputation all over the world.
What we have done to the Kurds will stand as a blood stain in the annals of American history.
With forceful opposition from across the political spectrum, President Trump tried to slam on the brakes. On the second day of the invasion, he dashed off a threatening letter telling President Erdogan to slow down. Let's work out a good deal. You don't want to be responsible for slaughtering thousands of people, and I don't want to be responsible for destroying the Turkish economy. And I will. Don't be a tough guy. Don't be a fool. I will call you later.
I think the letter pretty much speaks for itself here in terms of that. It certainly didn't seem to be an effective approach.
Even President Trump's most vocal supporters were now shouting betrayal.
Wipe out the Kurds? Are you kidding me? Again, we're abandoning our most loyal allies who did all our fighters. All we did is arm them, and they did all the work. And now we say, good luck surviving.
The Kurds were not surviving. They were dying in the hundreds, while American troops were nearby, but on strict orders to stand down, not to intervene, not to help their allies.
The reason that Kurds chose the Americans time and time again was because they trusted us. It makes it very difficult for those who have served here to watch this occur. It doesn't seem very honorable to me to step away from your partners and then to allow some of this to happen.
This funeral was for Kurds who fought alongside American troops. They thought that alliance was strong enough to support their dream, a homeland for their people, a dream they'd fought for. Against their neighbors, against ISIS, against the odds. Only to lose everything when they were betrayed by someone they thought was their friend.